Want to win every off-the-grid match you play? Looking to go from noob to pro fast? In my latest intel report, I break down the top 5 broken meta loadouts for off-the-grid that you need to try now before they get nerfed. It's mission time! Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here. We are at GIA headquarters, the gaming intelligence agency, always bringing you the latest intel on the newest games. Today, I'm showing you some of the top most used weapons and cyber limbs that make up the current meta in Off the Grid. Let's head to the range, agents. All right, here we are at the loadout screen for Off the Grid. Now, before we jump into these broken loadouts, do note that the only way to get these weapons in your loadout is to extract them from the game in a hex or buy them in the marketplace. It's not like any of the other games where you just level up with XP and you unlock them through using them. You actually have to have these in your inventory to use them in a loadout. That's a big reason why extracting hexes from the game or buying in the marketplace is a big part of this game. Let's go into meta loadout number 1, which is one of my absolute favorites. It is the Woodpecker and Squall shotgun combination. The Woodpecker is a super close range weapon. It literally looks like a nail gun, because it is. It's like a modified nail gun, but I love it. It absolutely rips your armor off your body like butter. Now, it has a very small clip, which is why we got the drum mag on here. We're going with the light grip and the light barrel, as well as a regular compensator, not the enhanced one, for the Woodpecker. I love this because it totally reduces all the recoil. It gives you the most amount of mobility and handling for this weapon, so you can get it out super fast and fire away and just destroy your enemies close range. It's one of the best close range weapons. A lot of people are sleeping on the Woodpecker, trying to use some of the other ones we're going to talk about earlier or later on today. But this one is definitely one of the best SMGs in the game. Now we're going to pair that here with the Squall Auto Shotgun. This is absolutely one of the most broken loadout weapons that you can possibly have. The Squall Shotgun is definitely broken. It is OP, especially when you talk about close range, but it does great damage at medium range too. When you're talking about you're 15 feet away from your enemy, it still is ripping. Now what we do with this is I'm running with a heavy stock here and a heavy grip, right, as well as a light barrel to kind of help with some of that mobility problems. This configuration reduces the accuracy down quite a bit, but I think that at close range, it really doesn't even matter. I mean, this thing just destroys your enemies so much that you don't really need that maximum accuracy for this. And then, of course, we have the extended mag here because we want to be able to get as many shots off as possible. Both these weapons have some of the lowest mags of any of the weapons in the game. 12 for the Squall and only 26 for the Woodpecker, so having those extended mags is absolutely vital. Now, I'll pair this sidearm here, the TAP 9, with almost all of my loadouts. It is definitely one of the best sidearms in the game. If you have it kitted right here, a 3-shot, gun to the head. That's it. That's all it takes. Light grip, extended mag, heavy barrel, enhanced compensator. It's a great combination, and you can use it to really take people out at the if the Woodpecker and the Squall didn't do it, the TAP 9 will definitely finish it up. Now with this build, and like many of the builds we have here in this video, the Leapers are the best cyber legs that you can possibly get. There are some good configurations with the Roadrunners, but these are absolutely some of the best that you can have in your loadout because the mobility they give you is unparalleled. It allows you to jump around the map and get out of tight situations over and over and over again, better than almost any other of these cyber limbs, right? So we pair the Leapers here with Paralyzer, which is essentially like your wall hack. It gives you a really cool looking like thermal, and then you can also shoot an EMP, which gets people like they get the cyber limbs all gummed up, and they're just like they can't move, they can't do anything. They can shoot, but you get them inside that EMP, man, and there's not much they can do. And then you can clean them up with the Phosphor Fury. The great thing about this Phosphor Fury is it not only is a great cleanup weapon, but it's a great like ninja weapon. You can dive in, Phosphor Fury someone right behind them, hit them on their back, it sticks to them, and then they can't get away. Boom, they're dead. In addition to that, it also does fire damage on the ground as well, so they could, if they're downed in that fire damage, it'll finish them, no problem. No self-revive is going to come back from that. It's definitely one of the ultimate ninja limbs here, and the Phosphor Fury and Paralyzer, in my opinion, are some of the best combinations for an aggressive playstyle. Now, I have this combination paired with a Soldier Backpack, and what that does is it allows you to reload your extra weapon, right? So whatever's holstered, it's gonna automatically reload it. It's like having a third arm. It's like while you're shooting and doing other things, it's like, oh, I'm gonna reload this weapon for you, Stache, no problem. Boom, 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 boom. I love it. So the soldier backpack is great in a situation where you have low clips, right? Like low amount of possible shots. And this way you can just go back and forth, it's gonna reload you. Loadout number 2 is the winningest combo of all time and off the grid. It is the kite and kestrel combination, the sniper and the SMG. This has the most kills of any combination, and you can go check this out on tracker.gg. Some of the top players, they have the most kills with the kestrel and the kite. Now, the kestrel has been nerfed recently here going into open beta, but it is still a very powerful and the best sniper in the game. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm putting a heavy stock on it, which you can kind of see here. I'm putting a extended mag and a lightweight barrel to help a little bit with the mobility here, but it absolutely just absolutely crushes. Now with this kind of configuration, you do get a little bit less range, but you get more recoil control and accuracy, which I will take that trade-off for a little bit less range. Now, I do have an adjustable 4.68 scope on this. You can put pretty much whatever scope you want, whatever kind of you're feeling. I do like this kind of mid-range scope. It's great for quick scoping as well, so you kind of have that 4 range and that 8 range. I think it's plenty enough for you to be able to take on any long-range damage here. Now we pair that with the kite, and with the kite configuration, like I said, this is one of the most used SMGs. We're going all lightweight configuration with this light stock, light grip, drum mag, super important, and then the enhanced compensator for the extra range and that extra accuracy with this kind of weapon, and it gives good mid-range to close range damage, right? A little bit less mobility here, which is fine, a little bit less handling, but it's still a very quick weapon and super accurate at medium to short range distances. And this combination absolutely just slaps. Once again, we're pairing this with the TAP 9. It's one of the best sidearms in the game here. And, I mean, you can go with some of the other ones, but this one is my favorite. Now, with this loadout, we're going once again with the leapers. Absolute, mobility. Helps you in all situations, especially as a sniper. You're not going to be using road runners. Maybe you could look at thumpers as an option to trade out here if you're going full sniper and trying to hide and thump and do things like that. But I really love the leapers to be able to get away, and you could even do air shots. You see a lot of these great players jumping in there, sniping. They're using leapers to do that. Now, for a really good sniper build out, we're going with the Ghost. This is the kind of cloaking device cyber limb, and it puts you in a state where it's very hard to see you. Especially if you're going bushwookie and you're just hanging out in the bushes. There's no way they're ever going to see you if you're ghosted and you're sitting there sniping. Now, what I will say is that there is still an outline. You can still be seen, and when you loot or do other things, it does pop you out of the ghost form. So you got to take that in consideration. But that combined with the recon drone, which allows you to kind of put out a drone that scans the area, you get full awareness of what's around you. And so this is a great ultimate sniper combination. Now with backpack, I'm going with the soldier backpack again. You can easily trade this out for the limb accelerator backpack, which is also good because it's going to be able to give you that extra recharge quickness for your limbs. And one of the things to note with this combination of ghost and recon, there's some of the highest cooldowns of any of the cyber limbs. So switching out for that limb accelerator might be a good idea depending on the situation. I do like the soldier backpack just because you get that automatic reload. Broken meta loadout number 3 is the M4 Commodore and the Kite. The Commodore is the best AR in the game. It's the best assault rifle in the game for sure. And with this kind of combination, what I'm looking to do here is we're going with all heavy. We got a heavy stock and a heavy barrel, and we're going with a drum mag for this, right? So this definitely reduces down the mobility and the handling of this gun, but it gives you superior recoil and range, which makes it a great mid-range weapon. And that's the reason why we have this great mid-range weapon. It works great in a lot of situations. Overall, we have a 2x sight on here. I do like to use my sight at mid-range, and that even helps it with a little bit of long-range capabilities because it's so accurate as well. You could easily trade this out for the sight out for like an underbarrel, like an angled forearm grip, which I like for the M4, to help a little bit more with some precision and some recoil improvement if you're not a person that likes to scope at mid-range at any kind of point. But definitely one of the best, kind of ARs in the game. Now pair that with the Kite, as we talked about earlier, and you have that great close range combination where nothing is going to be able to destroy you close range because you got that 69 drum mag, and you can just spray your enemies right there, no problem. Now, once again, we're pairing that with the leapers, right? That mobility unparalleled for most of these builds. And then once again, we're going paralyzer, so you get that kind of wall hack, that the heat map of where enemies are, but also where loot is at. One of the cool things is it doesn't just show you enemies, it also shows you where the loot is at, which I love too. And then you got that EMP, right? In addition to this, we're going to use a hook shot. This helps with more mobility, right? To be able to get out of a tough situation really quick. But you can also hook shot enemies and bring them to you, and then hit them with the kite or paralyze them, and they never know what hit them. They have no idea. Most people don't use the hook shot in that way, so it's definitely a great little trick that that you can show everybody. Like, look what I got! Pulled him right to me, paralyzed him, and kited him, and he's done. I did pair this with the grid shield. I like this build more towards late game, not full late game, but this way, if you need to go into the grid shield or into the grid with this grid shield backpack, you can revive people at the redeployment station or go in for those kills inside of the grid if there's some pesky bounties that are avoiding you. Broken meta loadout number 4 is probably the most broken of everything in the game. I mean, absolutely broken here. This is a double squall setup with a double ripper setup. We talked about the squall already. Auto shoddy absolutely destroys close range. The accuracy is pretty good. You just want that massive fire rate and the handling. We're going 2 of those. It's back to back to back, right? If one doesn't take them out, the other one does. Now, what you can do here is we have one here in heavy configuration with the heavy grip and heavy stock and a lightweight barrel. You could then have another one that's all light configuration, and that way you have a little bit of a different feel for them, right? One's going to get a little bit less accuracy, but a little bit more mobility and handling. So you could start off with that one if you need to pull it out after you're doing like a paralyzer, and then finish them up with the heavy version, so you make sure you kind of clean them up there. Now with this build, we're not going leapers, we're going road runners. This is the build where you want to get super close up, you run circles around your enemies and zigzag around. They'll never be able to hit you, and you can hit them with the shotgun as they're going in circles. And then as a finishing move, ripper, right? You pull out the ripper, you fly forward, and you're gonna hit them with that blade, and it's an instant kill, right? If they have no plates like that, right? And if you miss them, you got another ripper, and you just ripper them again, or you ripper their teammates, and then you got a squad wipe. Now, once again, I love this for pretty much any time in the game because it's a lot of fun to play. You can pair this with pretty much any backpack. I got a grid shield on this one, but limit accelerator is great. Soldier backpack is also good because you have a low mag weapon here, and you have 2 of them, right? You only get 12 shots even with the extended mag on both of these. So the soldier backpack would be a good option for this as well. All right, last on our list here, bringing up the rear, is the proton kite combination. The proton is the marksman. It's the best marksman in the game. And so, if you love the sniping element, but you're not feeling the Kestrel as a good sniper, the proton as a marksman is actually a really good option. If they have no plates on, it's a headshot kill, right? It's a headshot kill. But the fire rate for this weapon in comparison to the Kestrel is much greater, right? So there's a lot more mobility and fire rate on this weapon. Once again, we got the proton, we got the drum mag. We're going with the heavy stock for a little bit more recoil control and accuracy. Same thing with the barrel, right? That's going to reduce our mobility and handling down, but no problem with this kind of weapon because you're kind of using it almost in a sniper configuration. I have a little bit of a more close range 2.5 to 4x adjustable combat scope on here because this is I like to use it in kind of like mid-range situations where I don't really use it as a sniper, but more of like a scoped mid-range weapon. I think it works really good for that. But man, if you get these accuracy hits right at the head, you can definitely take somebody down in just like 3 shots. So we're gonna pair that once again with the kite. Now you could switch out this kite in most of these situations with the woodpecker. The Tacoma is also a pretty good SMG as well. I just really love the either the kite or the woodpecker in this situation. But you could easily pair this with a woodpecker as well, so you have a really close range and then kind of like your medium long range weapons too. Now, once again, we're going leapers with this. You guys know why. The mobility is great. Hook shot, once again, it's one of those things where you could be mid-range with your proton, hook shot your enemy to you, clean them up with the kite. And then we're going to pair this with the recon drone to give you that kind of awareness, right? Just good awareness of what's going on around you. Find those enemies quickly. You don't have to worry about any kind of bugs or problems with paralyzer. And there you go. You got them on the scope, and you can take them out with that proton. I do have this paired with the limb accelerated backpack, because once again, recon drone takes a long time to come back up. Hookshot, not so much. But you know, if you're in a sticky situation, getting hook shots coming up a lot faster because of the limb accelerator backpack is definitely going to help in a lot of these situations. Well, there you go, agents. 5 of the most broken meta loadouts in this entire game. Some of the most broken guns and cyber limbs that are going to allow you to destroy your enemies in Off the Grid. I've used all of these, as you guys can see here at the gun range. You can see them out in the field. You know, they all work great. You know, if there's a loadout that you love that I didn't cover and you think, no, Stache, this is the loadout, this is the broken stuff, put your loadouts, what you love, in the comments below and why, so I know and I can test them out live on my next live stream on Twitch. Make sure you guys follow me there for my next big live stream. But that's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stache, over and out.
Secret Agent Stache. Secret Agent Stache.